They had always imagined the end would be loud, shouting, crying, maybe a dramatic walkout with a door slammed hard enough to shake the walls. Instead, it arrived quietly, like a realization that had been waiting patiently for weeks, maybe months, for one of them to finally say it out loud. It was late afternoon when they sat on opposite ends of the couch. The sunlight came in at an awkward angle, highlighting dust in the air and the faded spot on the carpet where they had once spilled wine and laughed for an entire hour. Neither of them turned on the TV. Neither reached for their phone. They both knew this moment deserved their full attention. "So," one of them said, breaking the silence, "we need to talk." The words weren't sharp. They were tired. They talked slowly, carefully, like people walking through a room filled with fragile things. They spoke about how conversations had become shorter, how affection had started to feel forced, how silence no longer felt comfortable but heavy. They admitted things they had been afraid to admit, how they sometimes felt lonely even when sitting right next to each other, how they missed the version of themselves they used to be together. "I don't think we're growing in the same direction anymore," one said, staring at their hands. The other nodded, because denying it would have been a lie. They had felt it too, the way plans sounded more like obligations, the way laughter didn't come as easily, the way love had slowly turned into effort without reward. There were tears, but not the kind that explode. These were quiet tears, slipping down silently, the kind you wipe away quickly because you don't want to interrupt the moment. They talked about the good memories, the late-night drives, the inside jokes no one else would ever understand, the comfort of knowing someone's favorite song and coffee order by heart. "That part was real," one of them said. "I know," the other replied. "That's what makes this hard." They realized they weren't breaking up because they didn't love each other anymore. They were breaking up because love alone wasn't enough to fix what had changed. Because staying together out of fear felt more painful than letting go. When the decision finally settled between them, it felt both devastating and relieving. Like taking off a heavy coat you didn't realize was weighing you down, only to feel the cold rush in immediately after. They hugged. Not the casual kind, but the kind where you try to memorize how someone feels one last time. The kind where you wonder if this will be the last moment you ever belong to each other. They whispered apologies for things that couldn't be undone, and thanked each other for things that had once meant everything. When one of them stood up to leave, they paused at the door. They looked back, searching for the right words, but there weren't any. Some endings don't need speeches. Later that night, alone in separate spaces, they both felt it. The emptiness, the ache, the strange quiet that follows a final goodbye. But beneath the sadness was something else too.